And
So,
that's true.
Miss Elwood, thank you so much for taking the time. How you been?
Oh, good. How are you?
Always good, always good. So, you've been having a lot of success with this virtual wealth living thing.
I'm getting started, that's for sure.
Get started. All right. So, just a quick kind of like high level summary. How long have you been working with me now?
We met in, I think, October, so just not that long.
Okay. How many deals have you done? Like, how many properties you got?
Just one so far,
Okay.
start to finish, but I'm in the middle of my third, fourth, and fifth deals right now. No,
Nice.
sorry, second, yeah.
How
Two
long did
through five are all happening right now.
That's amazing. How long did it take you to get the first one?
Like 2 weeks. You and I, we put something under contract under contract within 2 weeks, but then it took 3 months to fully like complete purchase of that house and then also sell it for that one member. We bought it for 42,000 and sold it for 65,000.
Nice. How long did it take you to sell it after you bought it?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Did you go touch it in person, see it, do anything to it?
Oh no, no.
That's impressive. That's
It
impressive.
was giving me heart attacks at times because we had that cold snap and everyone's like pipes were freezing and I wasn't there. I never drove down.
Yeah, that's amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Well, again, thank you for taking the time. I just want to ask you a couple of questions, kind of hear your feedback, and then I will let you get back to your busy properties, right? You got like, sounds like you got four at a time. That's amazing. That's impressive. I'm excited to see what happens. So take me back to the moment where you first dreamed about being a real estate investor. What kind of like sparked the interest, and how did you feel about your potential back then?
Well, that's almost exactly 20 years ago. I met someone just like you, Michael. His name is Dave, and he's the same age as my parents, and he was doing the same thing as what you're doing. And so at the time when I met Dave, so I was 20 years old, and he had 34 houses that he was virtual wealth flipping at that time. Um, he just bought houses and sold them to people on land contract and collected the spread. He and his wife, are older now and they are still living off of interest payments from houses that they're selling on land contract.
Wow, wow. That's amazing. So, and when that sparked the interest, like, how did you feel about your potential? Did you say, "Oh man, I can't wait to be like them," or were you
Yeah,
thinking?
like I took a few baby steps. I think I like went and looked at a house one time with Dave, but then he was going to banks and borrowing money from banks and my credit, I've never really had very good credit or income. Um, and yeah, I think that I just kind of quit after I like maybe applied for a loan at one bank and then I quit trying. And I had 4 kids, etc. But I've always been interested in real estate this whole time.
Gotcha, gotcha. So back then, when he was doing it, he was borrowing money from traditional banks and not raising money.
Yeah, like the credit union or something.
Got it. Got it. So, what were some of the biggest obstacles that you faced before doing what you're doing now? I know you
Well,
mentioned that credit
yeah.
was. Did you do some other real estate investing after that?
Well, so starting fast forward, like 19 years last spring, pretty much May 1st, I decided I'm going to do real estate. If it kills me, I'm going to figure out how to be involved. Like this is my chance at retirement. And um, we COVID caused a business my husband and I had that was really successful to our standard. We had never been making that much money. COVID just cratered it. So we've had ongoing struggles since COVID. And I just realized like I went and I got a job as a cashier a couple times, pulling in $12 an hour. And it's like, it's a drop in the bucket. Like I couldn't even make enough money as a cashier to buy groceries for my teenagers. So I just realized like that is not going to work. It's certainly never going to provide a retirement. It's certainly never going to replace that business income that we had. So I started, you know, doing the binge watching YouTube stuff, tried to wholesale, tried to wholesale. Realized really quick, like I don't have the time for cold calling. I don't have the money for marketing budget to run a wholesaling operation. And when it comes down to it, I'm not the person who's can like just be talking everyone down over the phone. Like, I know you want $100,000 for your property, but how about I just give you 50?
Yeah.
Anyway, wholesaling was not for me, and I felt like I had to do that in order to start like having an income and then hopefully to be able to invest in real estate. And then that's where I think I found you on Facebook. You just posted about what you're doing and then we talked on the phone. And that was the beginning of the end, right?
Yeah, and thanks for sharing. And then how did those struggles like affect your life, like financially and emotionally? Like when you talked about your business cratering and COVID and working as a cashier, what was that like?
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't mind cashiering. If it paid $50 an hour, I probably would still be doing it.
Okay.
It's just that it was so far from meeting those needs and like, yeah, emotionally, it sucks. It sucks to lose a business. It sucks to struggle financially. It's so stressful.
Mm. Now there are hundreds of programs out there, especially when it comes to like real estate investing. Like, what convinced you that this strategy would work? Right? Why did you choose to work with me?
Well, I think instead it was you decided to be my angel and you agreed to work with me in a non-traditional way. Like I probably interviewed, I don't know, 20, 25 gurus, from YouTube content or Facebook, just trying to find the people who are offering, a program, a way to learn, and um, my budget being very tiny, I couldn't work with anyone. I did ask a lot of people if they would be willing to just like partner with me. Like if I bring you something, partner with me. And that did not work out. But you were the first compassionate person.
Awesome. Awesome. And once you got into the method, right, what was the big aha moment for you? Like, can you
Well,
explain what that was?
I mean, I've always wanted to own real estate, and you're just like, okay, just go buy one. And I'm like, okay. As you know, I was like ready, fire, aim. So yeah, I just picked a house immediately and I just offered I like paid over sticker price. I paid more than asking price for my first house. It probably was technically a bad deal if you look at it with any of the ways that wholesalers look at properties or um yeah, it was probably a terrible deal, but that's the amazing thing about the virtual wealth flipping is as soon as I followed your system of offering to be the bank for the next person to buy that house, it infinitely adds to the value of the house just by offering to be the bank. And so that's why I was able to sell it for $65,000 is I'm a bank.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. So, did did the strategy or the system kind of dissolve any of the fears or doubts that you had?
Oh, I'm still very fearful. Um, like I lose sleep anytime I have my name on a contract and I fumbled a deal in January. I kind of veered off of your recommendations, Michael, in that I put my name on a contract to buy a house where, he disclosed that there was foundation problems to the house. And I probably shouldn't have gone under contract to buy that house. Or maybe it would have worked out still. I mean, some of the houses that I've passed over, I look back and I see, because I track it on a spreadsheet, and I see that so many of the houses that I did like, they sold. They sold pretty quick. And so I just think, oh man, I could have bought that one too, and someone would have bought it from me. Because if I see it an attractive feature about a house, probably someone else sees that as well, and then add the value of being the bank to the next person, then there's probably 25 people who would have wanted to buy that house with the banking, me offering to be the mortgage,
Mhm.
rolling that into the deal. Now, I mean, it only takes one person to buy a house, but yeah.
Mhm. No, I love your perspective. It's something that I learned over time and still learning, right? I'll have, to your point, a list of properties that I decide not to move on. And then I'll have someone come and tell me, "Oh, Michael, can you buy that one for me?" And I'm like, "Oh, shoot, this is one that I actually said that I wasn't going to buy." So yeah, you'll start to learn that. You mentioned about being stuck, trying to talk to different gurus, watching different YouTube videos. Um, Once you started working with me, what was the internal shift? The moment you realized, oh, like I can actually do this. Like this is actually going to work.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a daily battle because I'm still I think I'm still moving against all of the inertia of my entire life of thinking a certain way, and I don't think I'm past that quite yet. And that just, even this weekend, I forget what happened, but someone was saying like, "Oh, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is." Or, some of those things, or someone commenting like, "Oh, must be nice." Not to me, but like just seeing interactions between other people. And I think I have a lot of that on me.
The dragon.
Um, but I'm working on it. I'm not allowed to quit.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Good.
I refuse. If it kills me, I'm gonna figure this out. And it's just I know it's repetition. But there was that great moment when someone sent me a down payment for that first house I sold. They sent $7,800 through Walmart Cash, and the guy was like counting it up on the counter, like way up high for everyone to see, like all. And he said, "What do you do for a living?" And I said, "I'm a real estate investor." And we both believed me. In that moment, we both believed me.
Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, it's shocking to hear that you still battle with that, yet you're sounds like you're getting four at one time right now.
Yeah.
That's some heavy stuff with that mindset.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And um, not to go too personal, but like we are climbing out of some things that also is not going to take a day to recover from financially. So yeah, it'll be good to close 4 deals this month. That will be really good. Well, it might take 2 or 3 months to actually get them all closed out and sold the proper way, but even if it does take 3 months, it'll be immense.
Nice, nice, awesome. So, like you said, real estate can be tough. You know, not everyone has a circle that's supportive, right? Did you face any skepticism from friends, family, when you told them like what you're doing about this crazy, insane strategy? This
Oh
guy.
yeah. Um, my husband, I forget what, but I'm like, oh, I want to tell my family about something. There's been a couple times where I'm like, oh, I just have to tell I have 5 siblings and we are really close, even though we live scattered across the Western Hemisphere. Um, and I have said some things, and then I'll get comments from my brothers or my sister, and well, I just have to let that go. And I have been studying this. I feel like I have the equivalent of a degree in real estate investing from the amount of study and research I've done over the past year.
Mm,
So I'm just trying to remind myself, like, okay, I know what I know. I can't possibly communicate all the things I know from the past 12 months. And I haven't really succeeded wildly at anything else. So why would they believe me about this yet? I'm just going to forgive them for that and probably not try to talk to them about anything anytime soon, although I broke my own rule. And I'm trying to get some of my siblings to show up on Tuesday, tomorrow, to hear about an investment opportunity with Michael and I. But we'll see. I have several siblings who are heavily invested in the stock market, so we'll see if
Mm.
if they turn up, and then if they do, if they just yeah, what they say.
I remember when I first started to learn how to raise money, and I was listening to different people talk about, their accomplishments around raising money. And there was one guy who was like, um, I've raised over $1 million and I've been doing deals, and my uncle has the money. I know he has the money, right? He's well off, and he will not invest in any of my deals. He knows exactly what I do, but he's still just sitting waiting for me to fail. And now I'm in a position where I don't need your money, uncle, right? I just continuously tell him what I'm doing anytime he asks, and I never ask for his money. And that's how it is, right? I have a similar situation where I have one uncle who's always asking me what I'm doing, and I know he invests in real estate. He's invested in real estate, but I've never asked him to invest in what I'm doing. I'm just waiting for him to have the confidence. Like, you've seen me do this for over 5 years now. You've asked me to get on the phone with my cousins, 4 or 5 cousins, and I explain to you guys exactly what I do, and he's still kind of like, so it'll probably be like that for the next 10 years, right? You just everyone sees things differently, everyone processes things differently. That's cool. Everyone has challenges, even with the best system in place. I think this is the best system, right? What are some of the hurdles that you've encountered since you started putting this strategy into practice?
Um, Learning to raise money. I mean, that's a huge hurdle because it's hard to come from nowhere and start asking for money. And but I do believe that it is the number one skill that you're teaching us. It is the number one thing that could propel me to success in absolutely anything at all. Whether my husband and I go back into business ownership and buy businesses, or I'm able to realize dreams of starting Christian schools around the nation, raising money will be my number one skill that will bring me those, like, will assist me massively. I think it's 90% of the struggle for anyone who thinks they want to own a business or own real estate, be a real estate investor. What's the number one thing that holds people back is they think they don't have the money or
Hmm.
that they can't get the money. And I've believed that for 20 years. And I just, you said you could help me find the money. And I'm like, all right, Michael, well, here we go. I just put a house under contract, so where's the money? And
Well,
as you know, I had my own panic moments and freaking out, and but we crossed the finish line, and I have been um, going back to that closed investment group. I try to just show my face as often as I can, or my face in the chat. I just try to interact, be making posts. I just know that people need to feel like they know me. And so it's taken all this time, but finally this month, the reason I have several deals on the table is because people felt like they know me, even though I didn't know that they were getting ready to lend to me. I guess they've been thinking about it. And I just kept sticking around and posting about deals that I was working on. And I failed on two of them. I fumbled one in January and I fumbled one in February. Um, which I guess failure just happens, right? It's what we do afterwards.
absolutely, absolutely. And so, how much money have you raised so far?
Um, I think it's $600,000
Impressive.
because the deal number 5 that I'm working on right now is a commercial warehouse deal in my hometown with personal friends, and I'm so excited about that I'm able to help them with something. But anyway,
That's
So I
amazing.
raised 450,000 just for that one.
That's impressive. That's impressive. And how long have you been raising money now?
Um, since November of last year. And, you know, I failed in November, I failed in December, I failed in January. Um, by February, there probably would have been at least one or two lenders who were ready to work with me, but I didn't have the right deal ready for them at that time.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just, I'm just trying to keep showing up and showing my face.
So in 4 months, you raised over $500,000, 600,000.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's, oh, that's impressive. Oh, sounds like some crazy failures that you're having. I want to have your type of failures. Um, looking at the results you've achieved so far, whether it's more time freedom, revenue growth, peace of mind, what's been the most life-changing aspect of the success you've had so far?
I think I've been learning not to be a whiner or a complainer or grumble because I can either grumble or I can get something done. Or I can pick a fight with someone like right now one of the deals I'm working on, the lender was unhappy with me about the quality of some of the documents I submitted to her. And anyway, she said several things that I disagree with, and I think probably she's wrong on some of the details, but I just realized like I can pick a fight or we can accomplish something together, her and I, and potentially work together on something else in the future. So I just bit my tongue and I'm just like, okay, I will work on those things and we'll fix this and let's do it your way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can appreciate that. I can remember having some of those conversations with lenders and um in this business you just begin to learn. And even before I got involved in this business, you start to learn, especially with entrepreneurship, and I'm sure you've learned this as well in the past, is everything is about people, right? Everything that we do um in this human experience is going to involve other people. So the better you can get at being having a pleasing personality, getting people to like you instantly, getting people to buy into your ideas, being able to communicate effectively, those skills will take you a long way. Yeah. So it's cool that you learned that. It's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. What do you think sets the virtual wealth flipping method apart from other real estate strategies?
Well, it's incredible. It's like you want to be in real estate, just go buy a house. That's it. Just go buy a house. Now, of course, you do have to. I think most people would probably fail on just trying to go buy a house if they didn't have, like, I had you because I would not have been able to find a lender. And as I found, it took me months and months and months to get to a point where there was someone willing to give me money. But I had you and you helped me through that obstacle.
Mm, mm. Why would you say the strategy is a game changer? Is it all about being able to learn how to raise money?
Well, yeah, but then it's just there's that active income coming in with the way, you know, we do an acquisition fee up front. So, you know, it's work to buy a house. It takes work. It's you're looking at spreadsheets and you know, like how many hours is it actually? I don't know. For me, it feels like a lot. All of the hours that my kids are at school, I'm working. So it's all of them. It's all of my hours. So getting that acquisition fee at the closing table, like I just bought a house and now I have money to make sure I'm paying the bills. I got insurance. I bought myself some runway so I can be making payments to the lender and be paying Facebook ads while I'm trying to find someone to buy this property. So that getting the acquisition fee and then when we sell it, getting that down payment, like about $6,000 from someone buying the house. So you've got this great active income where, you know, from where I'm coming from, just buying one house in a month, just buying one house. That's enough income, $5,000 acquisition fee. That's enough income for me to run my business and to like, okay, I don't have to go get a job as a cashier. And then if I sell it the next month, that's great. But I think I can do more than one in a month, clearly, as I'm working on four this month. Um, but yeah, so you've got that active income, but then also once you have the house sold and in place, now I'm collecting a spread between the interest that I owe to my lender and the interest that is being paid to me. So now I'm starting to have a bit of an accumulation of semi-passive income. That's amazing. And then the idea that I could sell the mortgage note that I've created and potentially cash out, another chunk. Maybe I realize that when you sell a mortgage note, you're not going to get the full value, but I still might get an, 5,000, 10,000, $15,000 profit by selling a mortgage note. And that's fun to kind of think like, oh, I'm actually sitting on that right now. Like there's a spread there that I could tap into. Um, yeah, so all of that, it just combines, we all know that everyone has to work. You have to have an active income, but then to get semi-passive income, it's all built together. It's amazing.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, the active income and that passive income. It's awesome. I love it. So now that you see some success and you're about to go, you raised over 600K, you're about to close on 4 properties. Where do you see yourself in the next 1 to 2 years?
Oh, that's that's a tough question, but I I trust my husband and I will both be working from home together, school hours only on real estate investments, managing the houses, the portfolio that we have, and just being more comfortable than we've ever been before. And there's been a lot of years of uncomfortable.
That's awesome. Awesome. How will you continue to leverage this strategy going forward?
Oh yeah, I will never stop. Whether, say I end up deciding I'm going to buy fourplexes, I would buy a fourplex and then I'll sell it to someone who wants, as you talk about, someone who wants to be a landlord and get calls at 2 o'clock in the morning because the pipes are freezing. I'll just be the bank for that investor,
Right.
landlord. I'll just be the bank for them. They can manage a fourplex. I'll just hold the mortgage.
It's interesting you said that. It's crazy. I think I just came to the realization maybe last week that I could probably do more multifamilies.
Yeah.
I think I told you about the investor in Ohio who had met my business partner, who's in Argentina, right?
Yeah.
He's insane. The investor speaks Spanish, right? And he found a 6 bed, 3 bath in Ohio. I think it was listed for like 67. We wound up getting it for 50. We negotiated that we would sell it to him for 92,000. He gave us he agreed on 8,000 down and 1,200 a month for 10 years at a 10% interest rate. That came up to 92,000. He gave us the 4K up front. Was it 8,000? Yeah, he gave us the 4K up front. We buy the property, and then now he's going to rehab it, rent it out, and then get traditional financing and pay us out and then do it again. He was like, I want to do it again. He wants to be our bank. So we're basically like his hard money lender.
Yeah.
Um, so to your point, like that's another niche within what we're doing. Like you could just start focusing on multifamilies if you can get them at the right price and percent. So um, I'm actually considering looking at doing that more often as well because to your point, where we're doing with single family homes, our ideal end buyers usually, a husband and wife or a single mom with some kids. But when you talk about multifamilies, now you're looking at the investors who maybe can't get traditional financing either the hard money way, definitely from a bank. Why not we be the bank and then we cash this out? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Uh, Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's say you were talking to someone who was on the fence about doing what you're doing, right? Or investing in a program to learn this, what would you say to convince them that the virtual wealth flipping method is worth it?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is that you never can convince someone to do something against their will. And so if you know that you're an action taker, I don't know why you wouldn't take action on this because I had been trying to like make a dollar in real estate in some way, whether wholesaling or an acquisition fee or something for 6 months. And then Michael and I talk a few times and I buy a house like a month later. I mean, I put it under contract almost immediately and at the closing table on the day that I bought the house, I earned $5,000. So, and I am an action taker person on the right thing. Like it has to be something that you're genuinely interested in and passionate about. Like if you already think real estate is the way to go, like it's the way where you own something that's real, that's important to people, you know it's the way, then and you know that you're an action taker, then yeah, this is the best way to get started. I think there is tons of room for, like you and I talk about often, there's so much room for growth and expanding in creativity once you're rolling. But for people who just really need some active income now and to start cutting their teeth on some deals, like I just did my first one. But yeah, there'll be room for that creativity later. And right now I'm just doing the reps.
That's awesome. That's awesome. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who's struggling, right?
Oh,
Someone who feels like they can't break through real estate, right? What would you tell them
just
about?
pull the trigger, just pull the trigger. This is the most forgiving strategy for real estate on the planet. And I proved that with my first terrible deal. I proved it. Now you should try to follow Michael's system and like the recommendations. You're gonna, I know that I succeed better. It's gonna be faster when I do the things in the way that you outline in the course. But yeah, I do think it is by far the most forgiving strategy. We're not trying to strong arm people out of 40% of the equity they own in their house. We're not trying to find an off market deal where we're competing with like 50 cutthroat fix and flip investors. Like none of that. You can just you can just go overpay for a house like I did, and I still made a great profit.
I love that. Not trying to strong arm. I'm selling that. Not trying to strong arm people out of 40% equity of
Yeah.
their property. No, that's gold. Rachel, you're awesome. I'm so glad we decided to work together. I cannot wait. You are. I cannot wait to see where you are 12 months from now. I know you're going to blow it up. And I'm excited to see what you do over the next 6 months. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for everything, for all the support and patience and calming. You've brought calmness in the storm when I needed it. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, if I don't see you, I guess I'll see you Wednesday. But if I don't see you, enjoy your week.
Yeah, you too.
And thanks again for sitting down with me.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
And see.
Yeah.
Were you like reading off a paper or something? Like I seen you kept looking down.
No, I must just look down when I'm nervous.
I do notice you do that often, like even on the group coaching calls, like you're looking down and then you're looking up and you're looking down. Like, is she reading or is she having
Oh,
notes?
I do have papers in front of me, but I could not even tell you what they say.
Oh, really? So that's just a nervous thing.
Yeah. Look, I mean, in a group coaching, I probably am taking notes and probably writing something down,
Right.
adding something to my to-do list or something like that. Yeah.
No, no, you don't have any reason to be nervous. All right, lady, I gotta get ready for another call. Uh,
Woohoo.
you said with who?
No, I said woohoo.
Oh yeah, yeah, more calls. And then we're on for tomorrow, right? With the
Yeah,
opportunity.
10:30 a.m. I'm trying not to be too excited about that, but I am like really excited about that.
Yeah, me too. I was reading all through their website, and to your point, it seems like legit. It's just insane that that's their value proposition. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, we'll learn more about it tomorrow.
Yeah, I've heard so many super high net worth individuals like on YouTube talking about if you really want to succeed fast, you pre-sell your thing. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to pre-sell their buildings. And I think that I'm going to focus in more with our strategy. I think I'm going to initiate marketing, hopefully with a virtual assistant, targeting that tenant buyer so that when I come to the closing table, I have a buyer today
Hmm.
because that'll save me so much time and I'll be paying the marketing money anyway, but it's the headache and the stress for me of knowing that I have that tenant buyer lined up. And like Elon Musk did it, and this development group is doing it. Dan Martell, I've heard all these like high net worth individuals talk about this that if you really want to grow fast and succeed, pre sell your thing. So I think I'm going to focus on that. Not
Uh,
that,
I'm sorry. I was going to say an easier organic way to do it is when someone comes sees the one property, right? You let them know, hey, if they say, well, no, Rachel, I don't really like it. Okay, well, what type of property are you interested in? Go
yeah,
find that one, and then you buy it for them, right?
yeah,
And that's what Dan in Argentina, he's really good at that. Like I think that's all he really wants to do. Because like you, I guess he gets a little nervous. But I think he has two more people who already gave us money. I'm like, money is just popping up in my account. I'm like, who is this from? He's like, I sold another one. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so that's how you do that, right? And
well,
if you do that, just make sure you have them commit first because you don't want to buy
yeah,
something back out.
yes, I've experienced that.
Yeah, yeah. All right, lady. I gotta go prep for this other call. You're
Okay,
awesome. See you tomorrow.
all right, yeah, thank you, thank you.